electric gold. 내 불빛은 never cold. Light it up, no turning back. 세상 내 무대 track. 숨길 수 없어 내 vibe, so really energy you gonna feel. I'm invincible, nothing can break me. Limitless flow, don't try to chase me. Crash like a wave, wild and free. 이 무대 위, I'm all you see. Invincible, na 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 na. Yeah, na 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 na. Invincible, na 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 na. Na 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 na. 늦지 않아.
Gia de Guzman and the Creamline Cool Smashers look good as of late. They are coming in hot, winning their last 3 games in our tournament. And they are facing Julia Coronel and the Galleries Tower High Risers, who are rising to the challenge. They look confident, but that confidence will be tested tonight against a powerhouse team in the Cool Smashers, as we are all set for this final match of this Tuesday doubleheader. It'll be between the Creamline Cool Smashers and the Galleries Tower High Risers. Thank you so much for joining us on One Sports Plus, and the Pilipinas Live app. Dip Bianco alongside Ayala Shaniero. We also have our courtside reporter, Franny Reyes. Franny, I'm so excited to hear your stories. I know you were able to talk to some of them earlier.
Yeah, and the biggest storyline, this is Julia Coronel's first game against Gia de Guzman in the PVL, and we are in for such a treat.
Oh, that's a tease. Okay, so mamaya may iko-complete yung kwento for us. So, but for now, let's talk about the team standings. Halfway through, actually more than halfway through our All-Filipino conference already here in the PVL. So let's take a look at the team standings, especially after that win a while ago by the Chocomucho Flying Titans.
Exactly. Again, the goal is to be in the top 4 by the end of the preliminaries to get the ticket to the semi-finals. But so far, Signal and PLDT leading the way. But Creamline at 3rd seed at 3-1. They're coming off a sweep against Capital One. Meanwhile, Galleries in the lower end of the standings. But they are putting on a show. They are proving that they are no pushovers. This conference, they almost outlasted Chocomucho. But as you mentioned, they will again be tested today as they face another top contender in Creamline.
All right, let's talk about these two teams. First, for the Creamline Cool Smashers, of one of the biggest headlines coming into this All-Filipino conference is the return of Gia de Guzman, and with that return comes big expectations. But boy, she has delivered especially after that opener against PLDT. They lost that, but after that, tuloy-tuloy yung Creamline.
Right. I mean, right now it's safe to say that Gia de Guzman is indeed back in the PVL, and she continues to set the standards in that setting position. Currently #1 in setting overall, with Gia in the center of Creamline's offense. They are currently #1 in setting, 2nd in spiking, so we can just expect her to redevelop that connection with her attackers.
I did get to speak with Gia de Guzman. Of course I did. And Gia was actually telling me, being back with Creamline after almost 3 years of being gone, it's both familiar and unfamiliar at the same time. She said that the game of volleyball is constantly evolving, and because of that, Creamline cannot settle. But that's also why it's very important that as a team, they keep rebuilding that chemistry. That in-game experience is so vital to the way that they play and the way that they can take themselves all the way to the end in this conference. She also reminded me that, you know, they are a very strong team on paper, but a lot of these players did not see action recently. She has so many attackers to choose from. She has a triple scoop in Bernadette Pons, Tots Carlos, and Gemma Galanza, all of which are part of the top 10 of attackers here in the PVL. And she's working on really getting and establishing that chemistry with them so that they can be the formidable Creamline that we know they are.
Oh, that's the thing. When you have Gia de Guzman coming back, the fans expect nothing less, diba, to really involve her teammates in the mix. But hey, it's extra sweet because this triple scoop, they've been working well for the Cool Smashers.
And that's why Gia is also not having a very difficult time, because he has the luxury of having the attackers in the likes of Pons, Carlos, and Galanza. And in a champion team like Creamline, you can just expect them to keep getting better and better as the conference goes on.
Oh, that's a scary 3-headed monster for Creamline. Among their other weapons in their squad, let's talk about the other team this time. For the Galleries Tower High Rise, Gallerizers. You know, they're so unpredictable this conference, Ayel, because they've been alternating win-loss, win-loss after another. But no doubt, Julia Coronel, her confidence is sky high, and maybe she's learned it from her ate Gia de Guzman, di ba?
We're gonna see that later on, but yes, galleries are rebuilding, but despite all the changes, they have embraced the challenges, especially those girls on your screens, Julia Coronel and Jean Assis. They have been the mainstays against Chocomucho. Coronel's playmaking was unpredictable, keeping their offense really going. Meanwhile, Jean Assis brought the intensity at a higher level with her aggressiveness, both in offense and defense. 15 points of 5 blocks. Meanwhile, Julia Coronel, rather 20 excellent sets. These two players definitely will need their A game today against CREAMLINE.
Dip and Ayel, I did talk to both of these players, and you can just really feel the eagerness, just how much they want this team to succeed. And they've seen so many glimpses of that. Now, when I talked to Julia Coronel, she told me that really the goal today is to challenge CREAMLINE. CREAMLINE is a very established team. Galleries not quite there yet, and that's why it's important that they can show CREAMLINE that they are just as formidable of an opponent. Now, Julia and the Galleries Tower High Risers are climbing expectations. They had a 5-set win versus NX-led and a 5-set loss versus Chocomucho. So we talked about what are the really big learnings that they had as a team. And it's really that to win, they have to lessen the errors in those crucial moments. They have to avoid external pressures and distractions. But above all, they have to have that composure. They may be a young team, but they know that here in the PVL, anything can happen, and they want to challenge whoever they face off against. Now, Dip and Ayel, since we are talking about both Gia and Julia, it's only fitting that our Pilipinas Live poll question for this game are about these two national team setters. So let us know your answer just below the stream on the Pilipinas Live app. And that question is, which national team setter will be the difference maker today? Will it be Gia de Guzman or Julia Coronel? Let us know on the Pilipinas Live app or using the hashtag PVL2026. But ako, Dip, syempre kay Ayel Estranero ako, di ba?
Yun nga yung sasabihin ko, we're so lucky because we are with a setter herself na tatanungin natin, on the spot natin siya when the game begins. So in just a bit, we'll give you the matchup between CREAMLINE and Galleries Tower. But first, please watch this feature of the Rookie Rap with Sheena Turing.
Sheena, pasok ka. Are you excited?
Yes po.
We have some questions for you. Ano yung nakita mo sa sarili mo during your rookie year na nag-grow ka talaga?
Pagiging independent ko, for me, since iba na yung college eh. Kasi pag college, like, gym, dorm, kasama mo yung teammates mo. Ito, like, ako na talaga, like, ano yung mga, yung decision ko. Ano yung pinapakita nyo ate? Parang gusto kong rin gawin.
So, naka-influence ba yung mga atis mo, teammates mo,
Yes,
sa'yo?
yes.
Like, paano kami nakatulong sa pag-grow mo this year?
For me, yung leadership nyo ate, parang ayun yung nakadali mag-adapt sa inyo. The way maglaro din po. And sa labas din ako.
So, ngayon, last rookie conference mo na, ano yung gusto mong ma-prove sa sarili mo and also for your team?
For me, yung ano lang, kung ano yung natutunan ko past conference, gusto kong i-improve pa po lalo this upcoming conference.
Laban.
Laban.
Message mo na lang sa lahat ng teammates mo and coaches also for your last rookie conference.
Message ko lang po sa mga ates and coaches na why makuha po natin yung championship this conference.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 2026 All-Filipino Conference of the Premier Volleyball League. This is match number 28 of the preliminary round, the matchup between the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers and their opponents, the Galleries Tower High Risers. Introducing the two national referees officiating this match. Our first referee is Erlindo Eusebio. Second referee is Justin Navidad. Let's now meet the starters. First, for the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers. Middle blocker number 3, Mitch Gamit. Another middle blocker number 6, Pangs Panaga. Setter number 12, Gia de Guzman. Opposite hitter number 18, Tots Carlos. Outside spiker number 19, Bernadette Pons. And outside hitter number 23, Gemma Galanza. Starting libero number 11, Kyla Atienza. The head coach for CREAMLINE is Sherwin Meneses. And now the starters for the Galleries Tower High Risers. Setter number 5, team captain Julia Coronel. Opposite hitter number 8, Aiza Pontillas. Middle blocker number 10, Jin Asis. Outside spiker number 11, Erica Raagas. Middle blocker number 12, Rosel Paliton. And outside spiker number 17, Erica Teloria. Starting libero is number 16, Dolly Versosa. The head coach for Galleries Tower is Clarence Coachaying Esteban. This match is held under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. It is CREAMLINE versus Galleries Tower. This
Check out the starters for the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers. Usual players for Coach Sherwin Meneses, except at the middle you see the entry of Mitch Gamit for the first time this conference. She has not seen action at all, but will be a starter for the Cool Smashers. Meanwhile, for the Galleries Tower High Risers, also the same usual players for Coach Aying Esteban. Erica Raagas, though, will make her first start as well this conference. So this is when you know that the coaches are really playing a chess match, making adjustments for this one.
I mean, sometimes when you're in the later into the preliminaries, teams are starting to be predictable, but with the depth of the lineup of all the teams, there will always still be an element of surprise.
So we're underway here inside the Federal Center in San Juan. Thank you so much for joining us on One Sports Plus and the Pilipinas Live app. First point goes to Gemma Galanza and CREAMLINE.
Gemma Galanza, we talked about her on top of the coverage. One of the triple threat for the Cool Smashers, finding Zone 1 open that time.
7th in terms of her attacking percentage in the tournament. And another chance here for her to attack. Picked up by Deloria. Raagas will attempt. There's a check, and Galleries Tower also on the board.
We mentioned Erica Raagas starting today. She has been a spark plug off the bench. Ito na yung result ng mga magagandang performance niya in their previous matches.
And sometimes when you get into a new team, that's like a sign of new life for you din, diba? For you to feel that different energy, and we see that in her aura with the High Risers. Meanwhile, back-to-back points for the High Risers. as they were unable to send that over. Good serve from Coronel. Alam mo yung inaabangan ko, yung kwento sa atin ni Franny tungkol sa dalawang
Match
setters.
up.
But first, breaking the block on that one, Gemma Galanza.
Gemma Galanza really starting with the hot hands here for the Cool Smashers. We're seeing more combination plays early on this set from Creamline.
Coronel backsets. Extra step for Maiza Pontillas, but she was read.
Oh, Bernadette Pons, MVP number so far coming from this girl. This time closing down the veteran in Maiza Pontillas.
Creamline back with the lead here in the opening set. Underhand. And that one will be a point for Creamline. Coach Ayin calls for a challenge block touch. Ang gusto nilang i-contest.
That's Carlos admitting on that. No need for a challenge.
3-all. Ragas now serving. Pons.
Good
Saved
defense.
by Ragas. A bit too low for Deloria. It'll be a send over. Carlos. So Maiza Pontillas was there to cover. Outside for Ragas. No blocker this time.
Yeah, but the high risers so far playing really good floor defense, forcing Creamline to go for a couple of attempts before they score. Unfortunately, an attack error there on the end of Galleries.
4-3. All the way to Maiza Pontillas. What a play.
Yeah, that was smart coming from Coronel, knowing that the blockers were running towards Coronel, going for that reverse set, forced Gamit to have that loose block. And I mean, in these games, when you're facing veteran teams like Creamline, you will also rely on one of your veterans in Maiza Pontillas.
4-all. Carlos, and that one will head out. So we've been exchanging points so far to begin this set one.
Take a look at that open block on the cross-court angle for Tots Carlos.
Coronel goes middle this time, but unable to make contact was Rosel Baliton.
Coronel wanting middle activation that time. Want some separation from the blockers of Creamline.
Well, you like the intention, just that
Right?
it's a bit too high for Baliton. Gia. To the middle. Dug by Coronel. Maiza Pontillas, cross court. Pons. Ragas. Twice now that she wasn't able to keep it up.
Creamline starting to build their momentum here. Again, the wing attacker stepping up. Earlier Galanza, then Carlos, and then right now Pons scoring one against Raagas.
So this is now a bit of separation for Creamline. That one is in for Tots Carlos. A service ace delivered, which will take us to the first technical timeout.
Welcome back to the PVL All-Filipino Conference, where the Creamline Cool Smashers are leading against the Galleries Tower High Risers. And we gotta talk about Bernadette Pons. She actually told me before this match the importance of them not being complacent against a team like Galleries Tower High Risers. They're a team that is unpredictable and should not be underestimated in a conference like this. Pons also told me that they're a team that's getting their momentum the same way that Creamline's trying to gain their momentum, trying to rebuild that connection. If there's anything that matters in today's match, is also having the right attitude, as Pons just scores on that 9, now leading to 4, Dipinael.
Thanks a lot, Franny, and totally agree. You can't underestimate Galleries Tower. You mentioned a while ago, Ayel, that it is a completely different outlook for them, this All-Filipino, this 2026, because they went winless in the past 2 tournaments, but a couple of important wins for them obviously will change their momentum.
Yep, and I mean, for the high risers, they are all just embracing this opportunity. We mentioned Erica Raagas, but Erica Deloria also, you know, she is a revelation this conference. She has been the leading scorer of this squad. So far, slow start for her. She has been quiet, but she will definitely deliver those points for her squad.
Yeah, Galleries Tower coming off a 5-setter loss against Chocomucho, who, by the way, won earlier in 4 sets. That one straight into the antenna. Point goes to the high risers.
Pons wanting to force that to that down the line angle, but that scraped the antenna. Chance for Galleries to find the rhythm here.
3-point lead for Creamline. Saved by Galleries Tower. Deloria picked up by Nierva. Pons, this time better save from Raagas. Easy ball. They go middle. Then off the block and out, the point for Erica Deloria. Finally, she heard you.
Yep. But you have to also credit Erica Raagas with that back row defense, just keeping that rally alive. And again, Deloria will definitely be that go-to player once she is in the front row of the high risers.
I mean, she had 19 points in that last match for Galleries Tower. They need that same performance from her. And here she goes, back-to-back for Deloria.
Not slowing down at all this conference, stepping the gas right away once she was in the front row. Another clean attack coming from Deloria.
And Coach Sherwin forced to call a timeout.
Wala tayo ng pasa, naipasok natin. 2 spikers lang naman eh. 2 spikers. Mitch, basa lang doon. Kapag atake, medyo... Okay. Okay, go. Pass ulit, pass. Let's go! Hey, 1, Creamline!
Coach Sherwin calling for the timeout, want to break that momentum of the high risers. Erica Deloria with back-to-back points. And the high risers almost closing the gap now. Only a 1-point lead for the Cool Smashers.
Earlier lead was at 5 points for Creamline. Galleries Tower have closed the gap, but that one sails out for Maizo Puntillas.
Yeah, good timeout there for Coach Sherwin, icing the server.
10 serving 8. Service, Bernadette Pons.
Bernadette Pons now on deck to serve. That's a good one coming from Pons. Scoring back-to-back now are the Cool Smashers.
Take a second look on that. Bernadette Pons so far #1 in serving overall. So you can expect those loaded serves coming from Pons.
6 aces now in the tournament for Bernadette Pons. Galanza. That one red. Chance for the blue shirts. Coronel goes to Paliton. They've yet to find that proper connection in this game. Deloria will try. Gia keeps it up. Tots will be the one to set up Galanza, who scores off the block.
And Galanza's just so good with utilizing the blockers. Even with 2 blockers that time, Galanza able to score one off the hands of Coronel.
Pons still at the service line. It's inside. Oh, you mentioned #1 server in the All-Filipino Conference.
And it did look like it was gonna sail out even from our perspective, but that dropped right on the line. Wow.
All of a sudden, lead back up to 5. Coronel to Deloria. Much needed point for the high risers.
And this is why the high risers will also need a stable passing. Julia Coronel with good playmaking so far, but they want to help her play in system that time. Deloria again going for that down the line attack.
And she heads to the service line this time, 9-13. That's a bit close to the net. Free ball for CREAMLINE. Not the best of exchanges though. Scrappy for both teams.
Yep.
This time, Gia able to give it to Galanza.
Good dig.
Good save by Verzosa. Raagas tried to put some spin on that, be a little crafty, but it went short.
She saw an opening in zone 3 wanting to go for an off-speed attack, but as you mentioned, medyo kinulang lang ng power and pang-spin.
Which Gamit now serving. Another chance here for the Cool Smashers. Panaga unable to convert. Baliton, same goes for her. Galanza, set back this time.
Coronel with a better timing against Galanza. Galanza was able to score one against Coronel earlier, but this one better blocking coming from Coronel.
It will be an interesting matchup at the net because these two teams are #4 and #5 in terms of the blocking department. For yung CREAMLINE, and Galleries is at the 5 spot in this All-Filipino Conference. De Guzman goes to Panaga, checked at the net. They slide to the right. Nilipat lang.
Both setters has been trying to activate the middles. They have been limited so far, but this is good news for the Cool Smashers. An involvement from Panaga.
Early sub here for Galleries Tower. Raagas checks out. Gail Pascual is in.
Pascual started in their previous match and played all the way.
Out of system. Dug by Atienza. Galanza with a blockbuster. For her 4th point of the match as we go to the 2nd technical timeout. Back inside the PVL Center in San Juan, Bernadette Pons making it punchable for CREAMLINE.
Bernadette Pons in the top 10 of 4 departments in spiking and serving and digging and receiving. As mentioned, MVP numbers for her so far.
You know, when you have her back in your lineup, as Galanza read that. But first, let's go to this play. Gemma again. Dug by Verzosa. And the drop doesn't work. Back to Gemma. Verzosa again with a save. battle at the net.
Another long rally.
Play continues. That one too long for Deloria.
Over-adjusting that time, wanting to go for a long shot, but couldn't put enough risk action.
Lumulobo na ang kalamangan ng Creamline here in the first set. This is their biggest lead so far. Having trouble with that first ball. Pons with a steady save, which leads to the attack of Tots Carlos.
And so far, again, Creamline attacking in system, making it difficult for the high risers to defend. Take a second look on that, a reverse set from Gia to Tots Carlos. Again, just utilizing the blockers. Timeout, high risers. Much needed time out there on the side of Galleries. They were able to keep up with the pace of Creamline earlier, but as you mentioned, they nag-pull away na yung Creamline. So this is already a big deficit that Galleries will need to close out here if they want to still have a chance in this first set.
To what would you attribute that to? Itong biglang laki ng lamang ng Creamline.
I mean, they're playing really good floor defense as nako-convert nila yung... I was gonna say nako-convert nila yung mga depensa nila, but as I say that, Jean Assis, take a look at that.
Spike of the set brought to you by Duncan, pasalubong ng bayan. I don't think you could have done much with that attack of Jean Assis though.
But as I was saying, again, Creamline just playing efficiently. Once may depensa that I was gonna say they're able to score right away.
Yeah.
We mentioned on top of the coverage, Carlos, Pons, Galanza, and they are the players stepping up right now.
19 serving 11.
Carlos, all power on that attack.
So far, Gia has done a good job balancing her wingers.
Right.
4 points at least for Carlos, Galanza, and Pons. That one sails out for Assis. Challenge will be called for Galleries Tower, asking for a block
challenge by
touch.
Galleries Tower on that last action.
Malaga already admitting to that.
All has been overturned.
So no need
Jean
for a
Assis
challenge
gets a
yet
block
again
touch.
for the high risers.
Twice now
Yep.
that
12 serving
Creamline
19.
have admitted to their block touches. So challenges have been, or we didn't have to go to the actual challenge. Meanwhile, Gail Pascual will serve 12-19. Oh, they go to Pons this time. Slowed down by the blockers. Deloria.
Off the block.
Good things happen when Erica Deloria is on the front row of the high riser. So ito yung rotation that they want to keep right now as Deloria again going off the hands of Tots Carlos. You've got Jean Assis and Maiso Pontillas in the front row also. So you want to defend well and keep this rotation as Creamline gets to convert one. I mean, quick side outs coming from the Cool Smashers, and we have to credit again, you've mentioned it, the playmaking of Gia de Guzman. Just, again, very balanced so far, keeping everyone involved.
It didn't take long for her to refamiliarize herself with her teammates whom she did not play with for a long time when she was away. Yet here we are with Creamline Cool Smashers building a commanding 8-point lead.
Dapat bago tumawid yun, naharangan na natin. Yung ginagawa natin sa Dulce, ang nangyayari kasi pagtawid, tsaka nyo lang inaharangan. So pagdating sa ball tracking, dapat napupuntahan nyo agad. Nangyari dali, pagsalita ka naman, i-attempt lang natin, hanggang sa makuha mo lang yan.
Volante. Nilalayuan talaga nila yung serve te para mawalan tayo ng quick. Pagka ganun tayo gitna lang, makalata ka na. Wala. Sorry,
Hindi
sorry.
mag-A-pass, taas na sa gitna.
Let's go. Three tayo. Okay, Galleries.
Second and final timeout called by the high risers who trail by 8 points. These two youngsters, Julia and Jean, need to make things happen
Yep.
for Galleries Tower.
As mentioned nga sa timeout nila, they will need a good first ball muna because you wanna activate the middles and Jean
Oh.
Assis.
Kagaya nun.
Drop ball from
On cue.
Gymnastics.
You know, they have good scorers in the middles in Assis and Baliton, but Coronel won't be able to activate them without the good first ball. But that
14,
was a
serving
much
21.
needed point on the side of the high risers.
Yung 15 points ni Jean Assis last time out against Shokomucho was her highest this conference so far. Tinapik lang.
It's the spot.
And that was just sense of urgency and presence of mind coming from Bernadette Pons. She was blocked, but nakita niya na she had an opportunity to go for that attack right away, and she did not waste any time at all.
Double substitution for CREAMLINE. Michelle Gumapaw along with Kyle Negrito enter the game. 3 points away from taking the first set. Ooh. Medyo nag-alangan dun si Kyle, but almost an ace actually. This will be a free ball for the Cool Smashers. Negrito back sets to Gumabaw with a powerful spike.
First point.
And this is just a full display of the depth of CREAMLINE. We keep mentioning it, but imagine you put Gia de Guzman and Tots Carlos on the bench, but you have Kyle Negrito and MG on the court, still very deadly.
I mean, those couple of years that Gia was away,
Yep.
diba? You know for sure that Negrito's experience came into play. She was the starting setter
Yep.
for CREAMLINE for how many conferences, even got
Exactly.
that finals MVP.
And I mean that Grand Slam of CREAMLINE, it was Kyle
Negrito.
Negrito as their main setter.
So you can't discount what she has also done for CREAMLINE. They are at set point. Another good serve. That one ends the first set. After the substitution, they score 3 in a row.
Just efficient game here coming from the Cool Smashers here in set number 1. Everyone stepping up and contributing.
Breezing through the first set, 25-14 for CREAMLINE. Back inside the Philoil Center in San Juan for the PVL 2026 All-Filipino Conference. As you see, 25-14 score in set 1 in favor of CREAMLINE. What happened in that first set, Ayel, that allowed CREAMLINE to just get it from start to finish?
It was just, you know, we talked about it. They are trying to rebuild their team chemistry, but with a champion team like them, it wouldn't really take so long for them to get their chemistry going, and it was in full display. They played on flow, everyone stepping up, everyone contributing. There are departments that they really banked on. As you see the numbers in terms of attacking, they have 13 against the 10 of the high risers. But if you take a look at the aces, there is a big disparity. 5 service aces against the 1 of the high risers, and I think that really spelled the difference for them. Those loaded serves that put the high risers out of systems, and also that consistency of Bernadette Pons that really started the separation for them in set number 1.
Looking like a well-oiled machine in this match. And as you mentioned, even as of late, the past 3 games have been really good for Creamline. Convincing wins that allowed them to bounce back early and quickly. Kumbaga naagapan agad dun. After that opening game loss against PLDT, they were able to recover and looking to go for 4 straight. Meanwhile, for Galleries Tower, we mentioned we can't count them out because of how their tournament has gone this year.
But again, they are coming off a 5-setter loss against Chocomucho. Obviously, their goal is to get back to the winning column and bounce back. But they have to dig deep. Everyone has to play their A game because Creamline right now is just leveling up their intensity.
And we're seeing new players on the floor, new faces. For set 2, Eliza Valdez will begin this set for Creamline. And she gets the pass there and delivered by Tots Carlos.
The offense hasn't slowed down here on the side of the Cool Smashers. Power kung power talaga yung mga palo nila. We haven't seen drops or soft touches coming from them. Just full aggressive in that department.
Galanza had 4 points in set 1. Pons, who is not starting this set, led the way with 7, by the way. Aiza Pontillas getting her 2nd point. De Guzman goes to Carlos, comes up short.
Yep. Also a bit too low on that set for Carlos. Not enough space to get that one over.
What else does Galleries Tower need to do in this set aside from the first ball na banggit mo because of the serves of Creamline earlier and now Carlos scores? What else yung pwede nilang gawin?
For the high risers, when they have an opportunity to score, they need to take it right away because once you give Creamline those easy drop balls, those chance balls, they could easily score those points and convert it.
Let's see. Right here, Deloria responds as we get this report from Franny Reyes.
Dipinayel Gina Assis told me that what really helped them in that win against the Chocomucho Flying Titans was their eagerness to win, their fighting spirit, and that's something that was a bit lacking in the latter part of the first set. Now, Gina also told me that when you face a team like Creamline, the fighting spirit is what will unite you, but you also have to be patient because they are a more established team, and that's actually something that Coach Clarence was telling the team as well during the huddle prior to the set. He said that they have to trust in their skills. They have a good offense going right now, but it all starts with one good pass. Hindi sila titigil, and they have to play with that same energy that they know they can play with. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Franny. So, again, Galleries Tower, that's been the story for them so far. Big win against Next Led in 4 sets. That close one against Chocomucho. They were actually up 2 sets to 1. Di lang nila natapos yun in 5. But again, that's good experience for the young high risers.
And in that game, it was Deloria leading the way with 19 points, and right now she is the one carrying the load in terms of scoring.
That was her best performance, as you mentioned, so far with her new squad. Outside for Carlos. Galleries Tower now up by 2 in the 2nd set. De Guzman tosses to Valdez. Her first look. Pinballing, but unable to save it after that attack from Turing.
Before the high risers can have an opportunity for offense, they need to better their floor defense first. Yes, Creamline has overwhelming offense right now, but they need to make those quick adjustments.
Better first ball that time around, which leads to the middle attack. That's exactly what you were saying, Ayel. They need to find their towers. Baliton, Jean Assis.
Erica Tenorio.
Activation will be
Serving for
crucial
the
here on the
high-risers.
side of the high risers. They want faster attacks.
Yeah.
Especially with how good the defense is currently on the side of the Cool Smashers.
Sent back. Good coverage by Nierva. Too long again for Carlos, trying to target that one.
Seven.
Finding the line, but sumusobra lang.
Yep, errors piling up for Tots Carlos.
And so far, Galleries Tower, they have taken advantage of that. However, speaking of errors, they also commit one at the service line.
But for the high risers, they want to protect this lead. Nakita natin kanina, once CREAMLINE finds their momentum, they don't look back. So for the high risers, they need a quick side out.
Last second ditch by Deloria pays off. Too long for Turing as we go to the first technical timeout. Mr. Jonathan Nang of Ribisco in the building, of course, supporting Cool Smashers a while ago. The Flying Titans are also here. They won their matchup. We resume here in set 2. Rosel Baliton will get us going. But so far, so good for the high risers. Although, alam natin, may ibang points talaga dyan na galing sa errors ng CREAMLINE. And they add another free point for Galleries Tower.
But the entire team saying na, nope, we're good. This is the correct rotation. But that's the right call.
9 serving 5.
Apat na ang abante ng high risers, 9-5. Good ball from Nierva. Gia kept alive. This time sets up the play to Galanza. Oh, good effort for Baliton to keep the ball alive. That one is in.
No coverage there, no one attempting. I'm sure the high risers were hoping that that block was gonna sail out on the side of the Cool Smashers, but Pangs Panaga making sure that that's gonna be a kill block.
Coronel goes back row to Deloria. Atienza was there. Oh!
Single pod, Gene
That was a block from Gene Assis.
And that was huge for Gene Assis, closing down Pangs Panaga. Take a look at that. All angles close for Panaga. That's gonna be a confidence booster here for Assis.
Who now has 4 points behind Deloria 6. Chance here. But it will be Verzosa guiding the ball towards Pascual. No problem as they take the point.
All right, now momentum clearly on the side of the high risers. Everything going well for them. Meanwhile, defense a little bit loose now on the side of the Cool Smashers.
First point for Gail Pascual. Carlos.
Good.
Kept alive. A dig by Valdez. One more time for Tots. Nierva covers. Galanza with a soft touch. Play on. Bit tight. Easy ball. Coronel goes to Assis. Long rally alert. Maiza Pontillas keeping the ball alive. Deloria dug by De Guzman. Gemma again. Still playable. We go on. And this is the longest rally so far of the
Chance
match.
for high risers.
And it ends
Combination play.
with a combination and a Gail Pascual point.
Yep. Got to admire the patience of both quads to just keep on going, defend, and go for that offense again and again. But the combination play will allow high risers to get that rally.
And Creamline calls for time.
Then pag nagbabalikan, simahin lang natin kasi diba? Pag ilang beses tayo naka-depensa, hindi natin mapalo. Takbo sa balo, takbo sa balo. Ha? Go, 1 point, 1 point.
Hey, one, Creamline!
Justin Brownlee in the house. Just suited up for Gilas Pilipinas in this last window of the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. And enjoying some volleyball. Right beside him was James Tiki, who will be playing import as well in the upcoming PBA conference. Back to volleyball action.
Point for the high
That's gonna be a point for the high risers. Tots Carlos fully covered that time.
Substitution for Creamline, 12 out, 1 Negrito in, 18 out, 7 Gumabaw in.
So double substitution here for Creamline. Medyo maagang gagawin ito ni Coach Sherwin because they need a change-up.
Yep, they need a spark plug. They need some game changer here because energy and intensity has shifted on the side of the high risers as Gene Assis with another point, but the Cool Smashers will call for a challenge or reaching beyond challenge.
Those things won't help at all, yung mga ganyang pamigay.
Yep.
Gene Assis especially slowly gaining her or getting her rhythm in this match. But right now, Creamline calls for a reaching beyond the net challenge. There's none.
That's gonna be an unsuccessful challenge for the Cool Smashers. Still no answers coming from Creamline in this set.
Dun sa timeout nila kanina in the huddle, if you heard MG saying, bring the energy up.
Yep.
Maybe that's what they need. This attack of Galanza could help.
Much needed point there for the Cool Smashers. They are hoping that this can be a start of their momentum. They will need to make a run as Galanza break through the hands of Assis.
Galleries Tower though have twice as many points as Creamline. Coronel. Chance for the Cool Smashers. They go to Valdez. Saved by Deloria. Maizo Pontillas from the opposite. Able to avoid.
She had a split second where she was deciding whether she was gonna go for that coverage or just let that one go. A good decision to avoid that one.
Pwedeng i-recruit sa dodgeball tong si ano.
Tsaka football.
Ng Aiza, oo. MG. Coronel gets it. Toh. Free ball. And it turns into a point for Galleries Tower. Just a mishap on their side.
Yep. They were clearly scrambling in that sequence. A miscue between Pascual and Maizo Pontilla started that one.
Deloria, cross court.
Cross-court shot. There he goes.
Pams Panaga wasn't ready for that one. Unstable in the defense.
And we go to the second technical timeout. Galleries Tower up by 8. back inside the PVL Center in San Juan, and we have this report on Jean Assis, courtesy of Franny Reyes.
Dip and Ayel, I heard you guys talking about Jean Assis and how she's starting to warm up here in this match. Well, actually, she's been telling me that she really feels like she's really come into her own. She's feeling that she's maturing more as a player each conference. She told me nerves used to take over, whether that was excitement or fear. She used to have all these nerves playing against people she used to look up to. Well, she still looks up to them now, but she also recognizes that they're now also her peers. She's playing as a much more calm, much more sure player, and that's something that the Galleries Tower high-risers need in this match right now, Dip and Ayel.
Thanks a lot, Franny. Narinig niya tayong pinag-uusapan siya. Pero, I mean, Jean Assis, second overall pick in last year's PVL draft. Out of Far Eastern University, we know her impact when she was with the Lady Tamaraos. And now, it has transferred to the Galleries Tower, and talagang kumpiyansa na si Jean Assis.
And it's not just, you know, the points that she's delivering for the squad. It's also her intensity and energy, something that we have been looking for on the side of the Cool Smashers in this set. Finally, a score there coming from Valdez.
Back-to-back points for CREAMLINE. Coronel gets out of the way for Deloria. A redo here. They transfer to the opposite. Tatienza slides and saves. But too close, and it went straight into the antenna.
Just too fast there on that set. Valdez and Negrito not connecting.
Still a safe lead para sa high risers dito sa set 2, 17-10. Negrito, better setup this time for Valdez. Second attempt, and breaks the block. Eliza Valdez with back-to-back points for CREAMLINE.
Utilizing the outer blocker there in Coronel, going for the forehand. This is not an impossible chase here for the Cool Smashers.
And De Guzman is back with Tots Carlos. Serve went out though for Valdez.
18 serving 11.
Still could not get their momentum going here, talking about CREAMLINE. 7-point lead for the high risers. 18 serving 11.
Tit for tat there as Deloria also commits a service error.
Both teams just exchanging errors here from the service line.
12 serving 18, serving Sina Turing.
Turing now serving. Coronel brings it to Pascual. That's a good looking attack from Gale.
And Pascual also one of the heavy-handed hitters here on the side of the high risers.
Spike of the set brought to you by Dunkin, pasalubong ng bayan.
When it's the right height and the right speed on that set for Pascual, you can expect an aggressive attack, but another service error here on the side of the high risers.
Still giving some room for CREAMLINE to get back here. 6-point lead, but also 6 points away. Itong high risers to equalize. Make it one set apiece. Galanza. Nabalik. Gia able to send it over. Coronel tosses to Pascual. Saved by Verzosa. Deloria's attack was red. And it doesn't go over for CREAMLINE.
Point goes to the high
CREAMLINE
risers.
scrambling in what's supposed to be a chance ball for them.
20 serving 13.
When those things happen, it's just so unfortunate, diba? Yung ready ka na kasing umatake, minsan nauuna yung
Serving for Galleries Tower.
pag-set up sa position.
And especially for CREAMLINE, who is playing catch-up right now, they can't afford errors like those.
Oh, they convert that. Pangs Panaga, 5 points.
That's gonna be a good bounce back point for Pangs Panaga. This time, De Guzman opting for a slide attack. Only one blocker there. No floor defense for the high risers.
Coronel looks at the options. Pascual.
Far ball
She
from
clearly
Gail
got the hot
Pascual.
hands right now. 5th point for Pascual, who was coming off the bench earlier.
Yeah, and all of those 5 here in set 2, she was scoreless in the first set when she came off the bench. Valdez saved by Nierva. Back to Eliza. Second try, it works for the Phenom.
Valdez has been a tough player to defend on the net so far here in set number 2. Earlier, going for the hands of Coronel. This time, challenging Aiza Maiso Pontillas, and Valdez still winning that.
Someone we haven't seen for the majority of this second set. Bernadette Pons finally back for CREAMLINE. I mean, she had 7 points earlier in the first set, and more than that, yung kanyang defense yung
Yep, I agree.
kailanganin dito ng CREAMLINE to try and come back. But Maiso Pontillas finds the line.
And again, that slow start from CREAMLINE has already allowed the high risers to build the momentum, to build their confidence, and to just, build that rhythm. A one-hand set coming from Coronel, and Maiso Pontillas puts that down at zone 5.
Chola Alvarez in the game for the first time to serve and defend para sa Galleries Tower. 22-15. Easy over, Coronel. From the pipe, Pascual. But she has caught fire here in the second set. 6 points for Gail Pascual and a timeout for CREAMLINE.
Tingin natin para tayo makaka 1 point. Para makakuha tayo ng run. Yun lang muna. Mahirap yan. 1 point muna, 1 point, then back tayo. 1 point, then back. Yun lang, ha? Let's go, 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 go! Laro na, laro, laro! Let's go!
One point at a time. That has got to be the mindset of the Cool Smashers here. They can't anymore rush this one. What they want is to just build some momentum. The high risers just 2 points away in securing set number 2.
And just to reiterate what we talked about at the top of the coverage, they're so unpredictable. I mean, we saw how set 1 went. It was lopsided, an 11-point lead for CREAMLINE. Nung natapos yung first set na yun. Pero ngayon, turning the tables are the high risers. Too low for Baliton. But almost a point. Back with the blue shirts. Maiso Pontillas. Nierva with a stretch. Valdez waits for it. Swings and scores for CREAMLINE.
Eliza Valdez with a productive stint in the front row right now. 4 points already. Did not see action in set number 1. Started here in set number 2.
No room for error here. And almost, and it turns into a point eventually with that great serve from Tots Carlos.
But still great effort on the side of the high risers trying to keep that one alive. But Tots Carlos will have to stay consistent on that service line.
7 points now for Tots after that one. And this time it's long, and that will put Galleries Tower at set point.
And again, as you mentioned, you really can't predict how the high risers will play. You can't put your guard down when you're playing against the high risers.
It's a good way to put it, really. Haji Mangolabnan enters. Also a setter, but Coronel will move to attack, but no need as Mangolabnan delivers the service ace, the final point for the high risers here in set 2.
And that's gonna be a perfect finish for the high risers. A player coming off the bench, but perfectly providing that service ace.
And they take it 25-17. We are tied 1 set apiece. We'll be back with the third after this. Back inside the PVL Center in San Juan for your PVL 2026 All-Filipino Conference. We just finished set 2. Same time, 24 minutes it went down. But first, we take a look at the highlights. What happened in the second set, or what changed, more importantly, IL, which allowed high risers to take that?
Well, the high risers, when they were given the opportunity to build that momentum, they took it from the get-go. We have to mention a stable floor defense for them. So they did look more organized in terms of their offense. Julia Coronel was able to choose the right attacker at the right time. Pascual as well as Asis really contributed big points, as you see the numbers on your screens. More attack points for the high risers. And not to mention 41% spiking efficiency for them. That's really high percentage against the 11 attacks, and 28% spiking efficiency of a CREAMLINE. And yung hindi natin nakikita right now is the service aces from the Cool Smashers. Their serving was a big strength that they had in set number 1, and in that second set, yun yung lacking on the side of the Cool Smashers.
And we also saw a couple of changes for CREAMLINE, diba? Nagsimula yung set 2. They put Pons on the bench also. I might have played a factor for CREAMLINE as well, because she had 7 points in set 1. But first, let's bring in our courtside reporter, Franny Reyes. I mentioned, Ayel, yung hinihintay natin kwento niya, diba, sa setters, because it's a good matchup between these two. Franny, we know that Gia de Guzman, Julia Coronel, they've had this relationship prior to this.
Well, Dip and Ayel, it's only fitting that they are our Pilipinas Live poll question of the game. But I want to talk more about the relationship that these two have built. Coronel actually told me that she's looked up to Gia for a very long time. And she admits that Gia is playing on a level that she can only aspire to reach. And she was sharing with me that Gia taught her so many things. How to scout, how to properly scout your opponent or your opposing setter. That's something that Gia learned from Japan, and that's something that Julia is putting into use in our match right now. But on the other hand, Gia de Guzman was saying that Julia Coronel is one of the most physically capable setters in the PVL and in the Philippines. And she was telling me that the only thing maybe that Julia is lacking at this moment is that experience to build chemistry, because it doesn't come as easy in the pros or on the national team. Clearly, these two setters have a lot of respect for each other, and clearly they're both trying to outsmart each other in our match tonight. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Franny. Set 3 underway, and really, it's guess you can say the mentor, diba? Gia de Guzman with her vast experience with the national team as Gemma Galanza gets us going. Ang dami nang napagdaanan yan. National team with Las Filipinas, playing in Japan or international tournaments. When you're on the side of Julia Coronel, you want to absorb all the knowledge.
And I mean, right now, I'm sure Julia Coronel is also very excited to play against one of her mentors in Gia de Guzman and somehow to prove that I've learned so much and I can also play at that level, right?
Dahil first time nga nila magkatapat, diba? They are teammates in the national team. But tonight, Julia has to use the tactics that Gia taught her against her. So far, we are tied at 1-1 in terms of sets and points, but Galanza breaks that.
Bernadette Pons back as a starter here in set number 3, but that time Galanza able to go down the line. Versosa not ready for that.
Pascual had a good second set for Galleries Tower, earning her more minutes. Panaga on a second jump.
Panaga taking that regalo. It was actually a block on the side of Pons, but high enough straight to the hands of Panaga to be able to put that down.
Maiza Pontillas waits for it. Pons sending it through. Outside for Deloria.
Deloria a bit quiet since set number 2. And this is a strong start for Creamline, the kind of start they want after losing set number 2. So far, 6 points for Galanza.
3 in a row for Creamline.
Into the block, Jean Assis.
Up until that one from Jean Assis.
Jean Assis has always been unfazed regardless of who is in front of her. You can just expect her to really put that power on her attacks.
Actually, ikaw pa nga yung medyo ma-intimidate
Kakabahan ka pa eh.
They bring it to Deloria. Good save by Nierva. Oh, Gemma! Just changing speed from the back.
And Creamline with better digging, passing right now. Definitely looking more organized.
Already with 8 points. Gemma Galanza, 3 of those to begin this set 3. A bit of hang time for Assis. Doesn't work. Carlos. Oh!
Quick hands there for Tots Carlos, seeing that opening. Didn't have to go for a power attack, just a quick tip.
Panaga now serving. Assis had to set up Deloria. Pons goes up and Pascual running after that. Angeles will give up a free ball. Combination to Pons. Buhay pa. Maiza Pontillas. Panaga was there. Carlos again. And that one drops for Tots Carlos.
Then these were the missing links in set number 2 for Creamline. The scoring of Carlos as well as the floor defense of Bernadette Pons. And right now, both players stepping up while they are in the front row.
That'll be an ace for Banks Panaga.
First technical timeout.
The number 2 server takes us to the second technical timeout, to the first technical timeout.
You're watching the PVL All-Filipino Conference, and it's the Galleries Tower High Risers facing off against the Creamline Cool Smashers. Let's talk about Tots Carlos and a team that can do so much with so many weapons at their arsenal. Tots Carlos said that the most important contribution you can bring is energy and support. It's not always about scoring, but you have to have that energy. You have to be able to lift each other up, and you have to have that right attitude, whether you're inside the court or outside of it. She said anyone can be a starting player for this team. Anyone can go hard, and that's why you have to bring that same energy whichever part of the game you're a part of. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Franny. Ikaw, anong masasabi mo sa Tots ni Tots?
Well, at this point, for the Cool Smashers, they will have to keep on working hard. This is an important set for them. They want that separation clearly. And we mentioned earlier, a couple of errors on her end in set number 2.
No,
She's clearly bouncing back right now.
9 points na for Tots Carlos. Free ball, but Baliton unable to keep it in play.
A missed opportunity there to score a point for the High Risers.
That's wide for Carlos.
Not tempting to go for the corner pocket, but just too much angle on that serve of Carlos.
She's had a couple of aces though earlier in this match. Liza Pontillas. Pons. Angeles. Able to extend. Nierva, great effort. And that will stay alive for Creamline. Deloria. That time around, too far from Galanza.
And that was a good placement for Deloria, finding zone 6 open. But take a look at that pancake save. Very scrappy on that floor defense for the Cool Smashers. But Deloria just playing it smart. Galanza just a split second late.
You like that from Coronel as well.
Right?
Just changing it up. Trying to find the gap from Creamline's defense. Speaking of defense. Take that back, says BDL.
Yeah, BDL also on the court right now. Not the smartest of options there for Deloria, challenging the taller blocker and BDL.
De Guzman, pump set to Galanza, just wide for Gemma.
But you get the intention. She saw that corner pocket open, wanted to go for that long shot, unfortunately could not execute.
Serving for the High Risers, Erica Deloria.
Erica Deloria now with 8 points. All coming from attacks. Good first ball from Nierva. De Leon's attack was red. Chance now for Galleries Tower. Their turn to go to their middle. Wala pa rin. Galanza. Baliton. With a chicken wing. Kept alive. BDL. Collision. Medyo masikip dun. Sa gitna. At nagkakagulo. And that ends as a point for the High Risers.
But the patience and scrappiness of the High Risers really paying off. Timeout, Creamline.
Si Ben na lang pagalaw. Salin mo lang yung back mo sa gitna. Salin mo lang dito, paano na paano. Salo lang tayo eh.
Balik tayo sa rhythm natin.
Go, 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 go!
Timeout called by the Cool Smashers. They're still up by 2 points, but Galleries Tower threatening to take over here in set 3.
And we heard Gia saying, balik tayo sa rhythm natin in the tail end of that timeout because they did start strong here in set number 3. Everything flowing for them. But the High Risers also starting to read their offense. So it's just a 2-point lead now for the Cool Smashers.
Yeah, it was a 6-point lead a while ago. On the first technical timeout, the score was 8-2. It has changed. Although that timeout, Galanza responding well.
Now again, it has been the wing attackers getting the bigger load of scoring for the Cool Smashers. Not a lot of middle activation so far on the side of Creamline.
De Leon with a serve, 11-8 is the score. Pascual.
Good dig.
De Guzman back to Gemma. Dug by Angeles. Pascual. Julia again. But Panaga puts it away.
Now I was saying not a lot of activations from the middles, but the middles stepping up on that net defense earlier. BDL getting one, this time Pangs Panaga taking that regalo.
They go to Baliton and finally a conversion from the middle.
That was quick enough. Panaga could not get to Baliton right on time to at least even just slow down that attack. Right in between Galanza and Panaga that time.
And every time makalusot ka kay Pons, that feels good because it's so hard. Gemma Galanza finding all the holes.
And that was a good setup coming from De Guzman. An open block, I believe, for Galanza. Panaga being the perfect decoy, pulling in two blockers with her.
13-9. With ball from Angeles. Coronel goes to Pascual.
Both setters just calling the right shots here. A combination play for Creamline earlier this time. For the high risers, Pascual right in the middle.
7 points for Gail Pascual. De Guzman.
Good set.
Carlos breaks the block.
De Guzman and Carlos connecting yet again here in set number 3. And so far, the high risers still reading the playmaking of De Guzman, but it's also the power and the attacks of the Cool Smashers.
Coronel. Tough look at that free ball for the Cool Smashers. De Guzman sets up Pons. Deloria able to keep it up. Maizo Pontilla scores.
Good exchanges here so far. Coronel with a beautiful reverse set.
That is our spike of the set, brought to you by Dunkin, pasalubong ng bayan.
Can't open that cross-court angle if it's Aiza Maizo Pontillas attacking.
Pons. Covered. They go to the opposite this time. Also covered.
That was high enough of a set for the blockers of the high risers to establish the two-man block against Totis Carlos, and Carlos also waiting for that approach while time block there on the side of Galleries.
Gia goes back to Tots, changing it up. Kept alive though. Back and forth. That one was way out for Deloria.
Over adjusting that time. Two blockers with her there. Very tall, wanting to go for the fingertips.
Panaga had an ace earlier. 15-12. And another ace for Pangs Panaga. 3 aces in total and 9 points to her name. As we go to the second technical timeout. Okay, let's take a look at the team standings here in our 2026 All-Filipino Conference and what it would look like in case Creamline, either Creamline or Galleries Tower win this one.
Well, for both the teams, obviously, they want to get the win for Creamline. They are currently on top of the standings. Third seed so far. They want to stay there. That's why they want to win for the High Risers. They are in the bottom of the standings, so they want to collect the wins in their next matches, and especially in this match, just to go back to the winning column.
In Creamline, as we said, they are gunning for their fourth straight win dito sa All-Filipino Conference. Meanwhile, Galleries Tower, they want to continue the pattern for now and then eventually get a winning streak of their own as a rejection from Rosel Baliton.
Rosel Baliton there. Closing down Bernadette Pons. No coverage for Creamline. Baliton so far the leading blocker on the side of the High Risers.
Back-to-back points to cut the lead down to 2. But Carlos leading the way with 11 points.
And so far, Creamline, despite the efforts of the High Risers, Creamline able to protect the lead. Tots Carlos with another point off the hands of the blockers.
Balik si Michelle Gumabaw and Kyle Negrito. Creamline up by 3. It's Kyle serving. Coronel sets up Deloria. They could get more from Erica Deloria. 9 points. She's a top scorer so far for the High Risers.
Now, that was a good conversion for Deloria. You don't want the Cool Smashers to stick to that rotation. You know, Michelle Gumabaw is a good blocker, a potential scorer as well. So you want them to rotate right away.
Double substitution this time for Coach Aying Esteban. Maggi earlier had an ace to end the second set. This time picked up by Creamline. Pons on the drop. Like Ebon is also in the game, by the way. Galanza. Good save. MG. Down it goes for Michelle Gumabaw.
And that was a beautiful set coming from Kyle Negrito. Connecting perfectly with Michelle Gumabaw. And Gumabaw avoiding the block. Angeles could not contain that.
Then a service ace for Bernadette Pons. 3 aces now for Bernadette Pons with a total of 8 to her name.
And it's a difficult serve to really pass a floater. You don't exactly know when it's gonna drop. But a better pass that time.
Reaching beyond as that ball was heading Creamline's way. Napapatawag ng timeout si Coach Aying Esteban.
Tapos ball tracking pa rin, bago tumarot sa'yo, napunta mo na yung bola mo, paano kakapa. Yung adjustment mo, pag malapit na sa'yo, doon ka nag-a-adjust eh. Then, pag malakas talaga, B-pass, set lang ulit, coverage lang ulit.
Yes.
Okay, habulin lang ulit natin.
Sige lang, okay lang, B-pass, walang problema. Ha, let's go.
Kaya natin, Magic.
Ako na, sige.
Let's go. Hard service talaga sila.
Ready kayo mga outside ah?
Let's go. Di pa tapos. Hey, Galleries!
Hard! Anticipate natin na hard ball sila.
Coach Aying Esteban there saying na kahit B+ lang, it doesn't have to be a perfect pass to the setter. As long as it's high enough right at the setter's box, then they have an opportunity to stay in system.
And as Mangulabnan mentioned before the timeout ended, to anticipate these hard serves from Creamline, they have gotten a lot of points from that department. 9 aces for the Cool Smashers in total dito sa larong to.
Rosel Baliton.
And finally, a response from Galleries Tower.
Have to credit the effort of Mangulabnan with that one-hand set, but a reaching beyond challenge will be called on the side of the Cool Smashers.
Challenge here as they try to get the point back
Yeah, they don't want the high risers to get their momentum going here. They know what the high risers is also capable of.
Yeah.
They have challenged some top contenders this conference.
And a while ago, nababa na nga nila yung lamang sa dalawa eh.
Right?
Here in set 3.
No. Clearly a clean touch there on the side of Baliton. So that's gonna be legal.
Unsuccessful challenge for CREAMLINE.
Coach Erwin was smelling danger there, called for the challenge. Let's see if the high risers could capitalize on this opportunity.
Oh, but Deloria, costly error.
For the high risers, they can't afford errors like those.
Yeah.
You have full control on the service line. But that's good news for the Cool Smashers, just 4 points away in taking set number 3.
21-16. Mangulabnan, back set to Ebon. Play on. Save from Negrito. Angeles. Too much on that. Kyle, back sets to MG. Went down the line, but it was called out.
Yeah, just too much angle of that on that attack of MG. She saw the hand, she wanted to avoid it, could not find the line. It's going to be a free point for the high risers.
Shola Alvarez will replace Rosel Baliton. CREAMLINE not yet out of the woods here in set 3. They need some good serves. Right on the money for Shola Alvarez.
And Negrito was already saying hard serve, hard serve. And she was right, Shola Alvarez getting one against a good passer in Galanza.
Instant impact, right? When she was sent in, timeout for the Cool Smashers.
Para in case na medyo dito, baka ikot agad si Gemma.
Okay po.
Once in long, ah. Yun lang tayo.
Go girls, say one, CREAMLINE!
For CREAMLINE, they just need a side out. They can get back their confidence. They are still on the lead. But again, for the high risers, they are constantly building their momentum slowly but surely. They're trying to hold into this set and just trying to stay resilient.
And yan yung nagawa na nung dalawa nilang panalo this conference. Really just the belief in themselves that they could climb back and keep up with the best of them. Threatening here to inch closer. Only down by 3. Ebon checked. They go to Asis. Negrito picks it up. Panaga tosses to Gumaba, who breaks the block.
Well, Michelle Gumabao always knows how to get through that net defense. Take a look at that. Heavy-handed hitter going in between the blockers.
I mean, even if your blockers are established, you just know.
Yeah.
Na sobrang bigat ng pala, di ba?
And that's why sometimes she's put in to score a point.
Yeah.
That's how vital she is to the system of the Cool Smashers.
Mangulabnan goes back to Ebon. Looked like it was gonna go out. Gia tosses. Galanza dug by Angeles. Pascual will try. Pons takes care of it. Carlos swings down the line. It goes.
Tots Carlos has been the answer in the long rallies here in set number 3. 12 points already for Tots Carlos.
And final timeout for the high risers in this set.
Lindsay, anong position ka na?
5.
5 ka na? Sige. Okay. Yung atake talaga ng middle, masukan mo talaga. Wag mo i-50-50. Pinapractice naman natin yung ginagawa mo ito. Hindi mo yung
Coach IE Esteban talking to Madge Mangolagnan there, saying to be more decisive in setting up the middles. I mean, you've got Jean Assis on the front row right now. You want to be able to utilize her strength and her aggressiveness in offense.
Gonna maximize this rotation for Julia. She is back on the floor. So is De Guzman for Creamline. Not the best of first balls though. This will be a free one for Creamline. Gia goes to Panaga. Back with the cool smashers. Carlos, here we go. He scored the last 2 points for Creamline and puts them at set point.
And that's gonna start to frustrate the net defense of the high risers. They have been trying to close out the right pin, but even MG earlier able to break through.
Lumulusot talaga. So they need to do better than that. Deloria, look at how active the players of Creamline are, just moving around the floor. Oh! Solid block from Banks Panaga to close it out, 25-18. What a return!
Banks Panaga and Todd Carlos teaming up to close down the high risers. That's gonna be a kill block on Pascual.
I'm just reminding you, he's a multi-awarded best middle blocker for a reason. And Creamline now up 2-1 over Galleries Towers. Back here on One Sports Plus, and the Pilipinas Live app for PVL Tuesday at the All-Filipino Conference. We got a good one so far. Creamline winning set 3 over Galleries Tower, 25-18. We'll see the highlights. How did they adjust in that set 3, IL and Cool Smashers?
Again, we mentioned that Bernadette Pons was the missing link earlier, that defense really stabilizing the passing and the digging of the Cool Smashers allowed Gia De Guzman to smoothly orchestrate the offense, and Gemma Galanza and Tots Carlos stepping up in important moments to lead and protect the lead for the Cool Smashers. But we also have to mention the high risers, a big decrease in terms of their attacking efficiency from 41 only to 17. More attackers really need to step up in terms of scoring. Meanwhile, for the Cool Smashers, the blocking department and the serving department, they're back on track on those two departments, something that worked for them when they were able to get set number 1.
So see how the high risers will adjust here in the 4th set. As you mentioned, they're coming off a 5-setter loss against Chocomucho. They've also had another 5-setter previously, earlier part of this conference na ipanalo naman nila. So they are experienced with that, at least for this tournament. Meanwhile, Creamline, after losing to PLDT, big wins consecutively for them, which is why we can say they are back on track here.
Again, two very different stories for Creamline. It's all about rediscovering their identity and their
Yeah.
dominance here in the PVL. But for the High Risers, an entirely different story for them. Revamping, rebuilding. But as mentioned earlier, they are proving that they are no pushovers this conference. And they will try to extend this one, but they will have to
Yeah.
dig deep.
Giving us a breath of fresh air, kumbaga,
Yep.
diba? Because of how they performed the last
First point is set
couple
for
of
the Creamline.
conferences. But
Service, Gia
this
de
time, it's a different game. But they will have to prove that against a battle-tested Cool Smashers team.
Bola.
Outside again, this time from the attack. But an early challenge
There's a
for
block touch challenge by
the High
Galleries
Risers,
Tower.
asking for a block touch.
Creamline earlier, they were admitting to those block touches, but right now, it seems like they're also sure that there's no block touch. This is a risky challenge for the High Risers very early on in this set.
They await the challenge. Just looking at the LPD. Let's see. Way above.
Yep.
Challenge is unsuccessful. Creamline gets the point. Galleries Tower has one more chance of remaining in the point set.
Unsuccessful challenge for Galleries Tower. 2-0 to begin set 4. De Guzman serving. Angeles bobbles that chance for the Cool Smashers. Panaga also failed to make good contact with that.
Yep.
One serving two.
A good timing on that jump, but not enough risk action to get that ball in.
Serving Kale Pascual.
De Guzman goes to Carlos. Nobody home.
6-0-6.
Tots Carlos clearly playing with a lot of personal momentum here. 14 point for Tots Carlos, going above the blockers that time.
Service in for Galanza. Coronel backsets to Maizo Pontillas. Kept alive by Creamline. Back with the High Risers. A redo, but that
That's a
one
point for
turns
Bernadette
into a point
Pons.
for Creamline.
Maizo Pontillas tried to cover herself in that
4-1 in
attack.
favor of the Cool Smashers.
Pons just gliding and closing that one. 4-1. Good serve from Gemma. Carlos. De Guzman back to Tots. Saved by Coronel. Angeles gets out of the way. Couldn't do anything there. And Pons goes cross court
Bernadette Pons.
in between two defenders. For our spike of the set, brought to you by Dunkin, pasalubong ng bayan.
And this is tough for the blockers in the front row. Kung kanino sila magko-commit, you have Bernadette Pons, you have Tots Carlos, you have Pangs Panaga. So you have to read and react quick.
Kaya nahiwalay talaga dun
Yep.
si Asis. They bring it to Deloria. Gemma able to get it. Pons. Popped up by Coronel. Skyball given up by Maizo Pontillas, but a blockbuster.
Carlos.
Good enough for a point.
And Gia de Guzman opting for a combination play. Tots Carlos there with another point this time. Blocker still mistiming that one.
15 points. Tying her output in their last match against Capital One is Tots Carlos. She also had 15 points in that win.
And right now, Creamline is just cruising here in set number 4. A 6-point lead already.
Seven,
serving one.
Asis. Deloria. It's an easy save for Pons. Ready to attack. Finds the sweet spot. And gets us to the first technical timeout. Creamline ahead by 7.
You're watching the PVL All-Filipino Conference here in San Juan, and Creamline Cool Smashers are leading 8-1 against the Galleries Tower High Risers, and that means it's crunch time for the High Risers. And one of their mainstays, Rosel Baleton, had a lot to say about the things that need improving, and it's really in their execution. It's those fine details, having that maturity as a team to finish a set, to finish a game well. This is really a test of the team's efficiency, because they are facing a lot of pressure. They knew that Creamline was going to be a tough competitor, and they've also shown Creamline that they can rise to that challenge. It's about being consistent in rising and showing them they can take this to a 5th set. Back to you guys.
Totally agree, Franny.
Well, that's what Galleries want at this point. But for Creamline, clearly they want to avoid that one, and they are showing that right now. Tots Carlos with another point.
Crunch time indeed, but they need to play like it. Speaking about the High Risers, but the errors are piling up.
Nothing really working for the High Risers right now. This is the moment that they need a side out. This is already a 9-point lead for the Cool Smashers.
Before it gets out of hand totally, because it's a 9-point advantage, 10-1. Atienza saving, Pons attacking and scoring.
So Gia de Guzman just choosing an attacker and gets a point. Earlier, Tots Carlos, this time Bernadette Pons playing consistently here, and de Guzman just with a smooth playmaking.
Pons has a dozen in this match. Ebon back on the floor, Deloria. She just couldn't get a point because of the stellar floor defense of Creamline. Whether it's Galanza at the back, Bernadette Pons at the back. Impenetrable. And then Bernadette Pons getting the points in. Timeout for the High Risers.
Dulo, kailangan naka-ready ka na agad dun sa dulo. Pao mo yun eh, bakit pagkakalun mo? Diba? Tapos, yung atake, sige lang, paluin nyo lang, huwag nyong hinaan kasi nga easy ball yung dating sa kanila. Okay? Mas okay pa, i-ano nyo na, high risk, high reward na talaga yung gagawin natin. Palayo na sa...
Get one, Galleries!
Coach Ay Esteban saying, paluin nyo na, huwag nyong hinaan, high risk, high reward, because that's what they need to do right now, especially the wing attackers. They want to challenge the floor defense, the net defense, the soft touches definitely is not gonna help on the side of the High Risers.
They badly need a point here. And finally, like Ebon will give them that.
As I say that, Ebon responding with a soft touch, playing it smart, just right behind the blockers. We will need more of those, finding the holes in the floor defense of the Cool Smashers.
Down by 10 points. Pons bringing it back to 11.
And de Guzman continues to confuse the net defense of the High Risers. Another single block there for Bernadette Pons.
You've got 4 Cool Smashers in double digits. with their scoring. Again, Ebon gives them a point. Creamline has Carlos with 16, Pons with 14, Panaga and Calanza both with 10. For Galleries, wala pa rin nakaka-double digits.
But like a Ebon, such a bright spot here so far.
De Guzman, that one red.
That's a block point for the high risers.
When it's a high set going to the wing attackers, the high risers able to establish their net defense. That's the time Deloria credited on the kill block.
So with that block point, Deloria now has 10 points. The first high riser to reach that mark. De Guzman didn't need to do anything there but jump.
And that clearly confused the high risers. No one taking that regalo. Another missed opportunity on their end. Everyone just staring on that ball drop.
Gemma will take that for 11th point. Coronel gives it to Ebon. Outside for Laika.
Full dominance here so far for the Cool Smashers.
This is their biggest lead of the match, which also happened in the first set. But a service error from Tots Carlos.
This is a 10-point lead. The Galleries will need to make a run at this point. They can't play side outs anymore.
De Guzman sets up Pons, comes up short. Back to back for Galleries Tower.
She had the right thing in mind, but she also knew she made the wrong execution to go for the off-speed attack.
If you're the high risers, you just want to keep on playing, not really mind the score.
Yep.
But these errors, whether it's from the attacks or service, really making it difficult for them to get back in this game as we go to the second technical timeout. Back inside the PVL Center in San Juan. Galleries Tower high risers in search of someone who will bring them back and start the engine for them. There hasn't been a source of energy at all here in set 4.
Yeah, I mean, Julia Coronel has been trying to go to different attackers, but nothing really working for them right now.
Lori Bernardo, by the way, in the game for the first time. That means Tots Carlos will sit down. Well-deserved rest because she's already scored 16 points for Creamline. 16-6. Coronel goes to the Agas.
Who could dig?
Atienza with that. And the block point for the high risers.
But Bernadette Pons was still able to get a hold on that coverage. Just no second touch on the side of the Cool Smashers. But again, Baliton has been a solid defender on the net.
2 blocks for Baliton, who now serves for Galleries Tower. Negrito goes to Galanza. Raagas. Back with him. Assist from the right side.
Yeah, not the usual running attack or a quick attack for Asis. Going for that right pin approach, but the cross-court angle open, well maximized by Asis.
Bernardo swings, saved by Ebon. Raagas, it goes.
Not the most powerful of hits, just a good placement, good angle coming from Raagas, avoiding the blocks, going sharper to avoid the floor defense of Nierva.
3 straight points for Galleries Tower to cut the lead down to 7. So a long way to go though. Raagas shut down.
Instant impact off the bench for Lori Bernardo. Again, the depth of the lineup of the Cool Smashers. Earlier, it was Michelle Gumabao. This time, Lori Bernardo, but still playing efficiently. Really wasting no time, embracing all the opportunities on the court.
PDL serving. Coronel with a 1-2, catching them. Or Creamline off guard, but points!
Wow.
What an incredible effort. Still playable. And they're probably trying to figure out how can we score. And finally off the block.
But you've got to admire the Cool Smashers. They are on the lead right now. They could have had the option to let that one go, but the effort really allowing Creamline to keep the rallies alive. But Erica Raagas getting a point.
And you know, when you're on the receiving end of that Creamline defense, kumbaga pagbalik sa'yo, medyo nadi-discourage ka eh, because ano bang, what will it take?
To score a point.
Ebon, that is out, but there was a check. And Panaga says no. No, no, no.
Question is, will the Cool Smashers call for a challenge?
Referee Erlindo Eusebio will consult.
Tinanong ko lang kung saan niya nakita ko sa block o sa left. Tinanong ko lang. Kung saan niya nakita yung block, yung tama ng bola. Kung dito o sa likod, sa block touch. Ha? Sa block touch daw.
All right, so
There's a block touch challenge by
Creamline Cool Smashers will request for a challenge. Dahil nga yung atake ni Ebon went out, but Ninesman saw that merong check ball.
And that was a good clarification for the first referee, because if it was the last touch on the floor, it's not possible for a challenge.
Yeah, good clarification. It was close, but there was no block touch.
There's a counter
So a
challenge by
successful
Galleries.
challenge
Challenger
for
net fault.
Creamline, but a counter challenge naman for Galleries Tower. This time they ask for a net fault.
And they are hoping this is going to be successful, because you can sense that the energy and the aggressiveness is sort of increasing on the side of the high risers.
On the way down, nope.
Clean.
The challenge is unsuccessful. The point remains. Galleries Tower is no more challenge remaining in the fourth set. Entering the game for the Cool Smashers, number 12, the Guzman, and
So
number
no more
18,
challenges
Carlos.
remaining for Galleries Tower. That is a huge thing for them because they trail by 8.
18 serving, 10 serving, Gia de Guzman.
They will have to rely on themselves
Yep.
alone.
Right?
No more replays to save them.
Laika Ebon.
Laika Ebon going cross-court, scores a point. Again, Laika Ebon, somehow a bright spot offensively here for the high risers.
Dito sa set 4, she's got 3 points.
Serving for the high risers.
In total, all from this set, Erica Raagas serving 11 to 18. De Guzman, Carlos, slowed down, Coronel, reverse, back to Ebon. One hand set. Then that's the point for Jean Assis.
No blockers jumping with assist that time. An open block for her. Take a second look of that. Panaga jumping with Coronel. She forgot that Coronel is currently in the back row.
Gia. Gemma. This time with Galleries Tower. Deloria. Oh, set back.
That tandem of Tots Carlos and Pangs Panaga has been formidable up on the net. They have been collecting kill blocks this time. Tots Carlos able to close down Deloria.
A hug of approval from Pangs Panaga. Bobbled first ball. De Guzman goes to Carlos.
Oh, still good.
Assis was ready.
Point, Galleries Tower.
Again, scrappy on that floor defense, but no third touch coming from the Cool Smashers. Slowly but surely here, High Risers inching closer.
Yeah. You can feel na hindi pa totally ubos in
Yep.
Galleries Tower. They want more here. Coronel looks at the options. Goes to Ebon. What a dig by De Guzman. Carlos breaks through.
Now again, when it's Tots Carlos, Michelle Gumabao from the right pin. You have to be strong on that core, on that net defense. Again, able to break through.
The slightest of spaces,
Yep,
no?
yeah.
Will not do it. Julia. Deloria. It drops for Erica Deloria. 11 points.
And that's a beautiful combination play coming from Julia Coronel. Take a look at that Baliton. Keeping one blocker late, opening a space for Deloria to go cross court.
They can't seem to go over this 6-point hump.
Yep.
Coronel tried to catch them off guard. Pons rejected.
That's gonna be a block point for Julia Coronel, one of the taller setters here. As you mentioned, they would score one, but they could not make a run yet, talking about the High Risers.
Can they continue? A service ace for Laika Ebon.
But this time, back-to-back points for the High Risers. Much needed timeout, Creamline.
Yung mga easy na serve, alagaan natin ng konti, ha?
Easy sir, hawakan nyo lang mabuti yung kamay nyo. Huwag nyo kagad bitawan. Kasi hindi naman hard ball. Okay?
Sorry. Wala, okay.
First attack muna tayo. Yun lang yung secret. Go!
Go! Let's go, girls! Say one! Creamline!
Coach Sherwin saying first attack muna tayo because the Cool Smashers have the first attempt on that attack. They just need a good first ball off this serve from Ebon because they don't want to open an opportunity for the High Risers to build on some confidence in this set.
3 unanswered points for Galleries Tower. Carlos. Oh, Baliton was lost. Coronel, though, able to save. Yerba with a dig. De Guzman back to Tots. And it drops for Carlos.
Tots Carlos has been the momentum breaker here for the High Risers. Perfect ball control there, just an off-speed attack right behind the blockers.
19 points for Tots Carlos, her best game so far in this All-Filipino conference. Baliton!
Quick attack, Rosel Baliton.
Quick side out there coming from the High Risers. A good first ball, so Coronel able to activate the blocker. Baliton rather right in the middle.
17 to 21. Let's see what Creamline does. Back row from Deloria. Doesn't work. Galanza. Her turn. Kept alive by the scrappy high risers. Gia. 2 points. A net fault.
Yeah. She knew it. Too aggressive on that net defense for Julia Coronel.
Galleries Tower.
And another timeout here by Galleries Tower.
Dati isa yung bola lang, di pwede sa libero. Gaganunin mo kayo. Pagka nagkakamali, huwag kayo magmadali. Compose nyo yung sarili, tapos basa lang kayo kung ano nangyayari. Minsan nagmamadali na tayo doon sa ginagawa natin eh. Ha? Sige lang, kailangan pa rin natin makapatay muna, tapos unti-unti na block tsaka defense na kailangan natin ayusin eh. Okay, let's go.
But because of the pressure to get back in the game, Galleries Tower having this tendency of being disorganized.
Yep.
Diba yun yung sinasabi ni Coach Aying na nagmamadali eh.
Yep.
Nagmamadali sila.
And again, this is going to be a test of character for them as a unit, how they will be able to stay composed, because right now, clearly, they are feeling more pressure to come back. Meanwhile, Creamline very comfortable, just 3 points away and taking this match. But again, there is still an opportunity for the high risers. It's a question on how they will respond.
Galleries Tower can't afford to play side out. That will not help. Galanza swings and scores.
Again, those soft touches turn into chance balls for the Cool Smashers, and they thrive in transition plays. Gemma Galanza in between the block.
They are 2 points away from winning the match. Gemma covered by Atienza. Galanza once more. Steady save by Verzosa. Para Agas with the answer.
That power attack will do for the high risers, but they will need more reps on those kinds of attacks.
Chola Alvarez back to serve. Earlier, she was able to get an ace in the third set. No problem for Gemma. The reverse to Carlos. To Guzman. Trying to be cheeky with that one too.
Yep. She wanted to surprise the high risers. Di pa siya nag-1-2 play. That could have been the first time. But not enough clearance.
Oh, but the service error of Shola Alvarez will take Creamline to match point.
That was crucial. Huge error there for the high risers. Now no room for errors.
Creamline at match point. Serving for the match, Bea De Leon.
5 match points for Creamline. And BDL will be the one to serve. Not yet.
Yep. Rushing that time. But again, Coronel will have to stay perfect on that service line just to keep this one going.
One more point, Galanza. Coronel goes to Asis. It is not yet over.
Jean Asis with a quick attack. Who else will Coronel go to with a perfect dig? Quick enough. Carlos could not react on time.
And timeout for Creamline.
Seems like Coach Sherwin talking about a specific play Again, Creamline
Still
needs
serving,
one
Julia
side out, 1
Coronel.
point
Yeah.
to finish up.
2 match points saved by the high risers. They need 3 more. And an ace
Julia
by the captain.
Coronel.
Julia Coronel with 5 points and more importantly helping her team stay
22,
alive.
Serving
So
24.
steal there on the service line for Coronel.
Another good serve!
Back-to-back aces, Julia Coronel.
Back-to-back aces for Julia Coronel to cut it down to a single point.
The Creamline Cool Smashers are waiting for a strong serve, but Coronel playing it smart, going short as you mentioned, back-to-back aces.
Creamline needs a good first ball. They get it! And the finisher.
Quick attack.
De Guzman to Panaga for the hammer. And they survive that late set scare.
Take a look at that finish coming from Panaga, but you've got to admire the resilience of the high-risers, pushing and pushing until the end. But again, the Creamline Cool Smashers is a team that knows how to close out, and they have proven it again here in set number 4.
And they are on a roll in the All-Filipino Conference, winning their 4th straight game. As we will be back to wrap this one up after the break. Back inside the Philo Center in San Juan as we just finished the match between Creamline and Galleries Tower. What an ending to that in
Yep.
set 4.
And I mean, that was a strong start for the Cool Smashers in set number 4. At some point, it was a 9-point lead, 10-point lead, but somehow the High Risers found a way to come back. But again, for Creamline, they are a well-established team in terms of system. So at the end, they were able to close it out.
And now our player of the game is with our very own Franny Reyes. Take it away, Franny.
That's right, your player of the game. 19 points, 13 digs, a double-double. It's Tots Carlos! Tots, before anything, your thoughts on your performance?
I'm just happy we won the game. We struggled in the second set, but tinry namin bumawi and makuha yung laro. So I'm happy that we won the game and everyone in the team got the chance to yung iba sa amin nakalaro, and we're looking forward for the next game.
Earlier na pag-usapan natin ang contribution ng lahat. Nandito na yun ang teammates mo. Anong masasabi mo sa performance din ng teammates mo na yun?
Salamat sa inyo. Always present, never absent. Always present. So sa lahat po ng fans na nanood ng PVL, maraming salamat po.
Alright, now you guys are facing NX-LED this Saturday. What is on the practice plan of Coach Sherwin?
Actually, we haven't talked about it yet, but we're excited to play with NX-LED, and I'm sure paghahandaan namin sila this Saturday.
Alright, pinagsimulan na kanina, but now is your chance to greet not just your teammates, but the many fans and supporters of you and Creamline. Go ahead.
Sa lahat po ng sumusuporta ng Creamline, PVL, Rebisco teams, maraming salamat po. Thank you for always being with us. Manalo matalo, nandito kayo. And I dedicate this game to my lola and my family. Maraming salamat po.
Once again, your player of the game with a double-double, Tots Carlos. Dip and Ayel, let's close this one out.
Thank you so much, Franny. There you have it. Player of the game thoughts, Carlos. And really, CREAMLINE getting back into their championship form, getting more and more dangerous as we go along in this All-Filipino conference.
And the numbers show it. Again, they thrive in attacking in terms of offense. We mentioned they have a lot of firepower and pinakita nila yon again today. 53 attack points against the 43 of the High Risers. The High Risers tried to stop them on the net, but it was not enough. 9 kill blocks, definitely not enough. But the Cool Smashers also playing better on the service line, and that really allowed them to create that momentum. And in terms of errors, both teams almost the same number.
Tsaka bago magsimula yung laro, tinitignan ka ni Tots, diba? Sabi niya, POG.
Yep, na-manifest
Yeah,
niya.
she did exactly that. What a performance for her. And the win for CREAMLINE. Our games will continue on Thursday. Still here at the Phil Oil Center in San Juan. It'll be the Signal Super Spikers looking to bounce back after a tough 5-set loss over the weekend, and they will take on the Zeus Coffee Thunderbells at 4 p.m. And at 6:30, it'll be the PLDT High Speed Hitters going up against the Farm Fresh Foxy. So do stay with us as we bring that coverage over on One Sports Plus, and the Pilipinas Live app. A lot of great games, close ones, and entertaining ones here at the PVL. On behalf of our director, Al Neri, our courtside reporter, Franny Reyes, my partner, Aiel Estianiero, I'm Dip Dipianco saying thank you for watching the 2026 All-Filipino Conference. This is PVL, the heart of volleyball.